Right, let's make this actually face the camera. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Drake. And that's also annoying me, so... Yeah, that's alright. Yo! On to the musical show, the show where I blabber on about music for way too bloody long. I haven't actually gone back and that's 84 and reviewed anything else further. So hang on. Pig. Excusez-moi. So we're only doing albums from this week, and it was very, very mixed, let me tell you that. Starting off at the bottom, no surprises here with NF's Hope. What the fuck was that? Just ignore how bad my hair is. Yeah. Christian rap and white spiritual lyrical miracle individual rap merged together into one album, including some really bad ballads. I'm sad, I'm depressed, I fought battles. That's pretty much what he pretty much says. Praise God. That's pretty much like every song on this fucking album. And yeah, Christian rap, white spiritual lyrical individual rap are the two worst types of rap, so having them merged together creates something on the level of cancer, probably. But yeah, really corny lyrics, and there was one okay verse on the entire album, and it wasn't even from NF, it was Cordae. Somehow worse than that Wyatt James album, and to be honest, this is the worst album I've ever heard. Ever. 0.5 out of 10. 0.5. Damn, it's bad. Moving on to Ellie Goulding's Higher Than Heaven, which was insanely boring. Some people are saying you don't enjoy fun, but I like fun music. I like David Max's album because that is actually fun. But this, along with being not unique, which is a bad thing, I don't like music that sounds the same as every other music. I don't like songs that sound like every other song ever that you ever hear on the fucking radio, which is exactly what Ellie Goulding's album, by the way. Which is actually what... Let me restart that. I don't like music that sounds the same as other songs, if you know what I mean. I don't like music that doesn't do anything interesting. At least with Ava Max, the interesting thing is the production, is how good the production is, and just how fun the album is at points. But this, it's not even fun. It isn't fun at all, because the vocals are some of the worst things I've ever heard, and this entire album, if you told me it was generated by ChatGPT, I would fucking believe you. Awful, awful, awful. Nothing positive on the album, and yeah, terrible. Massive fall-off for her. I remember when she was the shit, she was massive about a decade ago. 1.9 out of 10, it was awful. Next up is Ray Shremmens' Rhyme for Life, which is really bad, obviously. If it's not an insanely bad interpolation over Stan over a drill beat on Not So Bad, really bad and cringe lyricism, so Torpedo, for example, it's insanely boring. There are very little positives whatsoever, aside from ADHD, by Rage standards, not being too bad. Young Thug's feature on Royal Flush not being too bad, even if it was very small. And Flaunt It Cheap actually being a good song. And Pump That isn't too bad. And Future's feature, why the fuck was it just ad-libs? What was the point of that? What was the point of getting them on? You can do the fucking ad-libs, you lazy bitches. First album in 5 years. Let's hope there's not another one, because Ray Shremmens suck ass. 2 out of 10. Moving on. This is where the ratings jump. They New Moon is next. Yeah. Which, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to even be this good, and it's not like the best album I've ever heard by any means. I just was expecting this to be really bad. So it did exceed my expectations, which was nice. and it had some great R&B production, which carried many songs. Vocally, it was usually okay, but the auto-tune got great in areas, and it was definitely nothing new, but it was solid. Unlike that Ellie Goulding album, which was nothing new and complete garbage. But yeah, it did exceed my expectations as I had quite a few great songs. But don't have a Black Bear feature, anyone, because Black Bear sucks fucking ass. So yeah, a small blemish and an overall decent project. 6.7 out of 10. Hang on. Rate the fit. Anyway, back to this. What I was gonna say is next up is Daniel Caesar's Never Enough, which is a great project with some beautiful moments, especially Toronto 2014. Another Mustafa feature on an incredible song. The song on the Heroes and Villains album that he was in. What was it called? Like Run It Up. Hang on, let me have a look. Walking Down, Don't Kill Civilians. It was also an amazing song that Mustafa was on. The song he was on there, was the best song of the album. Very underrated artist in my eyes. And some of the strings and orchestral instrumentation was chef's kiss. But it does show the one-dimensionalness of this area in indie because it does get repetitive. And at 15 songs, it does overstay its welcome. It's a decent 9.4... Oh wait, that's Larry June. 7.8 out of 10. Moving on, next up is Madlib, DJ Muggs and Mayhem Lawrence, Champagne for Breakfast. Rapping, usually good, but there were some poor moments. The production did carry some songs. And also was so run-of-the-mill that it ruined others. Basically, inconsistent. It's an inconsistent album in every way, but usually it's good. And it never really gets painfully bad or anything. Sometimes there's just a few duds. Not bad songs, just duds. But yeah, end of the day, great album, 8 out of 10. Moving on. Alright, next up is Currency and Jermaine Dupri's For Motivational Use Only Volume 1, which is the best album of the week. Wow. But yeah, for rappers of this quality, a 7-track EP/album/whatever, I don't even know what it's classified as, was always going to have something about it. Great beats, decent enough rapping, although it was grating at times. And the features were good. 2 Chainz and T.I. had good performances. However, I definitely wouldn't use this for motivational use aside from a couple of songs because, in my eyes, some are not that motivational, which in a way kind of ruins the concept, which isn't the best thing. And there is also a song or two that isn't as good as the rest of the album, basically. But yeah, good collection of mostly great songs, and overall a great listen. 8.7 out of 10. There you go. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 albums I'm going to shout out, but only 6 of them I'll actually listen to. Shout out Young Blue, who I'm not going to listen to, who dropped Love Scars 2. I don't listen to albums in the middle of a series if I haven't heard the entire series because I just don't. However, this does feature Ty Dolla $ign, Chris Brown, Tink, and that's it. And it's 15 songs, 42 minutes long, so shout out Young Blue if you want to listen to him. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna break that rule now with NLE Chopper's album Cottonwood 2, which is, well, in the Cottonwood series. He dropped the first one in 2019. Usually I wouldn't listen to this, but it's NLE Chopper, so I kind of have to. It will feature Too Rare, Lil Wayne, Lola Brooke, Modesty, Fabio Foreign, Kevin Gates, Duke Deuce, Polo G, G Herbo, Queen, Niger, and Rick Ross. I do kind of have to listen to this. I can't, use the series excuse. It's just by too big of an artist and has too many massive features. It has a Rick Ross feature, come on. 22 songs, 1 hour and 10 minutes. these albums are usually never that good. And I've already seen a review of this, which says it's around a 5. I've heard a snippet of one of the songs, and it sounds alright. I'm going to say it's going to be a 5 or a 6. I'm going to go 5 to be safe. Next up is Black Thought, one of the best rappers of all time, dropping Glorious Game with El Michaels Affair. 12 songs, 31 minutes long, featuring Brain Story, Son Little and Kirby. It's Black Thought, so it's going to be good. And apparently it's kind of jazzy, which is going to be very nice. I'm going to say it's going to be an 8, to be safe, although it could easily be a lot more. Next up is Pierre Bourne, who's dropped his EP, which is shown as an album for some reason on Spotify, Grails. 8 songs, 24 minutes long, no features, apart from none. I misread the name Pierre for future because I wasn't looking properly, and I'm blind. But Pierre Bourne, he's not a bad producer by any means. And the last album I listened to did have a decent first half, so 8 songs, it might be hard for him to go wrong, because he's not a bad artist by any means. He can make a decent song. I'm going to say a 7, because it's only 8 songs. If it was, like, say, 16, I'd say, like, a 4, because he's not a 16-track long album artist. Yeah. Next up is 38 Special with Art of Words, which is a collab album with Graf, featuring... Sounds like a... Graf, sounds like a bad version of that Ice Spice ad-lib. Graf. Featuring Commie the Machine, Bumby, Stove God, Cooks, Dave East, Gigs, and Rome Streets. 10 songs, 33 minutes long. It's got a Commie the Machine feature, so I can kind of predict the area of rap it's on. With the name 38 Special, he's probably German. But I'm just gonna Google to see if he actually is German. He's not, he's American, but usually if a name has numbers in it, they're German. Such as UFO 361, he's German. But yeah, I kind of know what area of hip-hop this is gonna be in, and every single time it's a very feathery, light 8. So I'm going to say 8, because that's always what it is. Next up is Metallica's 72 Seasons, which has finally dropped. 12 songs, 1 hour and 17 minutes long. I've heard a tiny bit of Luxa Turner, which, it's fine. It's a fine song, it's okay. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just fine. So I presume, given that's what Metallica's been for decades now, that's what the entire album's going to be like. So it's going to be pretty okay. It's going to be fine. I'm going to say 6. Finally, let me just double check something. Yeah, finally, we have got Waterparks, who has dropped their new album, Intellectual Property, with their first track being called Starfucker. Wow. It also, for fuck's sake, features Black Bear. 11 songs, 31 minutes long. I would have said like a 7, but that's already one bad song, so I'm going to say 6. And that's it. Well, not a bad week by any means. We got Black Thought. 38 Special is probably going to be pretty good. I have hope for Pierre Bourne because it's only 8 songs, and he can do 8 good songs because he has before. And, yeah. Only 6 albums. A lot of them are short, so it won't be too bad. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you same time next week with reviews of all these and showing you whatever the hell's going to come out next week. I have no idea what's coming out next week, so that'll be interesting. I don't usually check because it's nice for it to be a little mystery. I mean, I always find out something that I wasn't expecting anyway, but still. In a bit.